Hello everybody, welcome to this mat yoga practice. I want you to join me in any comfortable seated position. Close the eyes and become aware of your breath. And don't overthink this. Just develop an awareness of where you can find that feeling of the breath in your body, where you feel it the most. Maybe scan your upper body for these areas, front of the upper body and the back. You might even put a smile on your face. Yes. And then you could guide your breaths slowly in and slowly out. And if you've got that natural rhythm, just stick to it, but expand on it a little bit. Stay natural with the way that you're breathing. And then come back to your natural breath. No guidance, as much as we can manage, because it is difficult. Be aware of the breath, but don't guide it. And also know what this baseline breath of yours is like. You've got a good sense of that, so that in the next 40 minutes that we've got, you'll be able to really know when you're veering too far from it, when something isn't quite right. Now drop your left ear to the left shoulder. Right hand might slide away, left hand might come onto the head, but that's optional. Just a little stretch into the right side of the neck. And then chin to shoulder, and we take the chin up in a diagonal line. Slow this down if you want. In fact, your eyes can be closed for most of this. Chin to shoulder, maybe to the collarbone, and stay there. And observe the breath. Chin to chest. The back stays straight. Well, just those upper vertebra of the cervical spine get that stretch. Roll the shoulders to the back, raise the head, and we change. If you were sitting on the heels, of course, stay where you are. If there is another side to the way that you're sitting, come into that side now. And we take ourselves into the other side of that neck stretch. Again, you've got the option of walking the right hand away from you, bringing the left hand onto the head as you're stretching into that left side of the neck. But maybe you want nothing at all and the hands just keep resting on your knees, thighs, and your lap. Shoulders nice and relaxed. And then we start that movement, that up and down movement, or rather diagonal, gently diagonal movement. Chin coming down towards the shoulder or collarbone and rising towards the ceiling. And of course, it's very much up to you how deep you go there. Now chin down to the collarbone, and we stay there in that diagonal position. Just feeling the head get heavy. And then lower the chin down to the chest. And we slowly start moving the chin so the head stays dropped, but we move the chin from one shoulder to the other, from one collarbone to the other, and then slowly roll down, round your back, reach the arms to the front, and then maybe fingertips together as one shoulder goes higher up than the other. And we change sides and we slowly straighten the spine. Hands back onto the knees or thighs, and we start rolling into the shoulders. Nice and gently, comfortably, just warming up. And then we go a little bit bigger, hands off the knees, and we slow it down so that the hands and the elbows guide the way together with the shoulders. Eyes, of course, can be closed. It's just if you want to see, if you want to look. Hands to the back of the head. Gentle half rounds or full rounds, it doesn't matter. Just do what's comfortable for you. And then maybe you want to have the hands at the back of the neck for a little bit of a massage there while you move the neck. So this is completely up to you, a bit of a freestyle here. What feels comfortable, what doesn't, go with what is comfortable. And then the arms go high, we look up to the ceiling, and we press the elbows down until the arms are in a W shape. On an inhale, arms and the head go up, and on an exhale, we press the chin and elbows down. And find your own rhythm here. Don't emulate what I do. That's never a good idea anyway. Just find a rhythm that works for you. And then from here, we release and come onto all fours, making our way into Padmanasana, where the hands and shoulders and the knees and hips are aligned, and we'll come into Marjariasana, the cat, or cat-cow. Little reminder, we inhale and then arch, and we exhale and round. And if it feels nice to hold the breath at the top or bottom, if you're not pregnant, etc. And then crucially, I want you to go off-piste. I want you to freestyle so that you really tune into what your body might need. And then we might roll into the shoulders here with that little bit of weight that we've got. So sinking the chest down, squeezing the shoulder blades and pushing away. Again, you can look different in this. I want you to try and see what your body might want here. And then long arms, shoulder blades apart, and we bend the arms, bringing the elbows first towards the rib cage and then out. Just a little bit of activation of the tricep and bicep. And you can bring the knees further to the back as you do this. Yeah, technically, I don't know if I'm showing that actually, I've forgotten, but you could also do this from a plank position. So just go to where you feel you're doing this in a way that warms you up, doesn't strain too much. And then the knees come back underneath the hips, we round, we move from side to side, just comfortable. And then right foot to the ground, press the knee to the back, and push the hips to the back. You can use your right hand here, you don't have to. And my hips are quite far back. I mean, I'm literally sitting on that left heel. That's not what needs to happen. What needs to happen is that you're comfortable and you're feeling a stretch other side into that left side now. And how it looks, again, is always completely secondary. In fact, it's not important at all. And we come back onto all fours. And from here, we raise the right arm, reach it high, fingertips up towards the ceiling, maybe further towards the back, and we start drawing circles, wobbly circles if we want. Like this, you know, those big bubbles, the soap bubbles, not really having a shape. And then that right arm goes over to the left side. We twist. We might decide to raise that left arm and send it to the back or drop it behind us. We might do something with the left leg as well. So I like having my knees on the ground here. Some people like tucking the left toes under and straightening the leg. And maybe you could even, if you wanted to, raise that left leg off the ground. You could do, as I do all these different options, one after the other. But again, it's completely up to you. Comfort first. And this should never be a challenge for the ego. It should never be your ego telling you, oh, I should really nail this posture. That's not what it's about. We change sides, so first back onto all fours and a little release, wiggling the hips and whatever else is necessary. And then that left arm goes up, stays high, maybe moves a little bit further towards that right side. And then we start drawing circles. Nice, comfortable, big circles, but only as big as you want. And then arm high, and we guide that arm from the top over to the right side, coming onto the ground here, making sure the head is comfortable, the left arm is comfortable, and then maybe the right arm does something else, could slide along the ground and to the left side, could go up, could stay where it was before with the right hand on the ground. So again, your body, your perfect option. And maybe I haven't shown what you want to do. That's fine. We could straighten the right leg. We could keep it there with the right toes on the ground so that the right heel really pushes towards the back. You might decide to raise that right leg. But again, none of this is necessary. What is necessary is that you are turning your senses inwards and observing that inner landscape is going to make you better at taking decisions that are good for your body. And we slowly release again, wiggling the hips or doing anything else. And then from here, coming into Rajakapotasana, take that right knee forwards and then fold forwards and come up again. And I want you to try and start syncing that with your breath. Also, if you want to just be down at the bottom, that's fine. If you want to be high, that's fine too. And I'd suggest straightening a little bit more now. Feel this feeling of compressing the lumbar spine. And then we come back and we change sides. Sending the left knee forwards, left foot a little bit further to the right, doesn't have to be much, you decide. Come down and decide to stay, or follow me into this arching or straightening of the spine and folding forwards again. And then eventually we're going to straighten and hold, maybe walking the hands further in. But again, don't think that you need to look in any way like me. We all have very different bodies. And we take ourselves from here into Parvatasana or mountain pose. But take your time, focus on the legs first. And then as they straighten a little bit more, we want that length in the arms and spine. And then we roll forwards into a plank, holding that plank. But deciding if it's more sensible for us to bring the knees to the ground rather than holding here. Keep breathing. And then open up to the right side. Feet don't have to be in line. Right arm can go to the front but doesn't have to. And then we raise the leg and we flex the foot and lower. Now here you might want to decide as we go up and down to bring that lower leg, the left lower leg, to the ground. That's an option. And if this is too much, if you need a break, take a break. And slowly step that right foot to the front, press the knee out, push your hips down, especially the right one. The left is fairly low anyway, so focus on the right hip getting heavy and soft. That's where we were feeling this in the hip, I'm sure. But we'll go for a few more of those rounds. Anyway, for the moment we're staying, we're breathing, we're twisting gently. And then hand down, maybe you're taking a little forward fold here, maybe the forehead comes towards the ground or onto the ground. And we press ourselves up, hands in line to make sure that as we step into a plank, we're in that perfect position, perfect alignment here. Wrists roughly under the shoulders. And again, you can always come onto the knees. All of this can be on the knees. You don't have to go into a full side plank. But of course, as you may have expected, we're setting up for the other side. So slowly raising the other arm, raising the left arm, bringing that left foot to the front maybe, rather than on top of the right foot. And then we go up and down, flexing the foot so that we're helping ourselves out a little bit here, not opening up too much. The hips stay in that same alignment as before, as we just go up and down. And if this is too much for you, the lower leg comes onto the ground if it isn't already. So again, make this a class that works for you. You do not need to constantly challenge yourself. A little challenge is good. We want to know that the body's working. Left foot to the front, push the knee out, drop that right knee, twist, and make sure the neck is comfortable with where you're placing your chin. And hold. And if your hips aren't as low as mine, that's totally fine. We come forwards from here, dropping down. And again, we set up to step back into that plank. You may decide if you were doing this in a full side plank that the next round you want to do this in a half side plank. That's all fine. Maybe it's the other way around for you. When we set up again, right arm goes up, come into that side plank, and we raise the leg and we lower. We flex the foot. We move up and down with control. So hip strength and flexibility should always go together. We step the foot to the front. We push the hips down. We do exactly as we did before. Maybe noticing that it feels slightly different. Maybe it doesn't. It's all good. We're here to tune into the body. And that's why the eyes can be closed. Just a little help. Come to the front, hands on the ground. We tip forwards and down. Elbows in or out. You decide. We'll push ourselves up. Hands in that perfect position to step back into our plank. If you need a child's pose at any point, just be sensible. We all have different bodies. Strength, physical strength, differently distributed. We raise the left arm, side plank. And from here, that leg goes up. We flex the foot and we move back up and down. And it's not a problem to struggle with balance here. It's part of what we're doing here. That's how we're trying to focus our mind, making it easier for the mind not to wander, because we're paying attention to not losing our balance. Left foot to the front, we sink down, we twist, and make sure that the neck and the rest of the body is comfortable. Every time we do this, it'll feel different. We're paying attention to that. Bring the hands to the front, tipping forwards and down. I should have given that option earlier. Forearms can be on the ground. It's likely to happen after the second or third time, where it might feel more natural, where our nervous system has gotten more used to this intensity of the stretch. We step back into a plank, we hold that plank, and then slowly make our way back into a side plank with the right arm going up. Flex that right foot as it goes up and down, making it easier for your hips to stay aligned, for us to isolate that strength in the hip. Your glute is working here as well. Duh. The whole of the body really is working. Step to the front, sink down again as we did before. That's the thing, we might focus on one particular thing. So here, one option would be to grab hold now, to increase that stretch more by grabbing hold of that left foot, adding a quad stretch. If it fits, if it's comfortable. What I don't want you to do is hold on at all costs and raise the hips in the process. We're still focusing on the hip more than anything else. And we sink down, let ourselves get heavy. And then slowly come back up. As before, we step into a plank, Dandasana. Hold and breathe and observe the breath. Really be there, be present. No need to let the mind wander when we can be right here. We open up to the left side again, flexing the left foot and raising and lowering. Again, this has the potential to be too deep, too much, too whatever. If it is overwhelming, you can always be on your lower leg. You can be on your forearm if the hand, wrist, shoulder is the issue. Lots and lots of different options to do this. And we step to the front again, press the knee out, sink down, twist, and maybe grab hold of the right foot with the left hand. We hold, recognize if things get too deep. Slowly release and take our torso forwards. Just relaxing the body, allowing ourselves to get heavy. And just not resisting that stretch. And then nice and gently come back up. And this time we're going to tuck the right toes under and step the right foot to the front. Sink your hips down. I'm going to face you. We come into Malasana. So nice and deep for the hips. You may find that you need to sit on blocks or something. Or just keep the hands on the ground so that that the heels can be higher and you still feel grounded enough. So just go where is comfortable for you. How close or far the feet are apart also makes a difference, of course. And then we drop one knee and walk the hands over to the other side. So we're starting, if I'm mirroring for you, right knee down, hands to the left, and then we walk ourselves over to the other side. Left knee down, hands to the right. And stay here for a moment longer and then walk ourselves back over to the other side. So just one more on each side. Maybe you come a little bit lower, a little bit deeper this time. All the while that left knee pushes away. Never know whether I'm mirroring or not. And then over to the other side. And we slowly release. And hands on the ground, just rock side to side a little bit, decide where your feet are at that perfect position, and then raise your left arm and look up to the ceiling if comfortable. And the other side. And you want to make sure that the hips stay where they are. They don't move along with you. So still grounded. And look up to the ceiling. Hands can be underneath, so fingertips can be from the inside underneath the arch of the foot, basically. And we push ourselves up into Uttanasana. And we sink ourselves back down. This is, of course, Malasana into Uttanasana, but can also be called, or is also called, Vayunishkasana. And we do a few more of these, and you can now decide if you want to hold for a little bit longer, or if you want every movement of the hips up to be an exhalation and every movement of the hips down to be an inhalation. And then slowly release, hands come away from the feet and onto the ground. We drop the head, we let ourselves get very heavy here. And we come into a forward fold with the feet together and into Ardha or halfway lift, and we slowly make our way up into Hastottanasana. We might come into a deep back bend here, or we just come into a gentle back bend. Keep breathing, and then hands into Anjali Mudra. Breathe in and raise your arms, and breathe out, fold forwards. As always, only go as deep as you want and bend your legs as much as you need to. And then on an inhale, step your right foot to the back. Gently sink the hips down as you exhale. And you can stay here with no change at all, but you could straighten the spine a little bit more and look to the front. Or you could even raise the arms and straighten if you wanted. Now left arm goes up and we twist gently. And only look up if that's comfortable for your neck, of course. Now drop that hand back down and step into a plank. We're very familiar with this now. Hold for a little bit, not too long. And then we drop the knees, chest and chin in Ashtanga Namaskara. 8 parts of the body saluting, saying Namaskar to the ground. Now slowly drop the hips and raise the chest for another arch in the back. It might be little, it might be deeper. Turn the head to the right and left. And then might look up, but maybe that's too deep. If you wanted to, knees apart, feet up, and take it easy, not too deep in this Purna Bhujangasana. And we tuck the toes under and push the hips up. Just get comfortable here and then raise the right leg high. Press the shoulders to the back as well. Don't let yourself come forwards. Flex the foot, drop the heel if you want. A little bit of movement to the ankle if you want. And then, of course, no rush at all. I want you to be comfortable here. Feel the weight evenly distributed in both hands. And then step the right foot to the front. Raise the arms and torso into Asana, or the galloping horse, the moving horse. My hands are in Kali Mudra, that's one option. And others are very much allowed. Just be here and be intentional. That's what we want. We interlock the hands behind us now. We might arch a little bit. looking up to the ceiling. And then from here, let yourself come forwards. If that's too difficult, then I want you to bring that back heel to the ground. And slowly we release the hands and step to the front into Uttanasana. And gently come up with a straight back, reaching the arms up high. And we bring the hands to the heart center on an exhalation. We inhale and raise the arms, and then we deepen into a back bend if we want. We don't have to, but if you do, keep breathing normally. Don't hold your breath. And then on an exhale, hands come back to the heart center. We inhale and raise the arms and gently arch, and we exhale and fold forwards. Drop the head for a moment. And then on an inhale, step your left foot to the back. And as you exhale, again, lots and lots of time, no rush, sink the hips down. Stay exactly as you are, or you might raise the head a little bit, straighten the spine a little bit. All up to us. And when I say us, I mean you. And then that right arm goes up. We're opening up to the right side, raising the head if we want, if that makes sense to us, to our body. And don't do anything just for the sake of it. We step the foot to the back, so into a plank. And we hold that plank as before. Strong shoulders, strong arms. If you're dipping, then just drop the knees to the ground, where we're all going now, into that knees, chest and chin position, or we are hovering. So it's up to you where you want to be. And we drop the hips, raise the chest, legs apart already here, and we straighten the arms. So just all sorts of different variations of Bhujangasana or Sarpasana. And we, again, might decide to raise the feet and try to close that gap or make it smaller. And then tuck the toes under, push the hips up nice and gently, especially if you were arching quite deeply. And then we inhale and raise the left leg. As before, we get long, we move into the ankle if we want, and then we flex the foot, drop the heel to the buttocks, and we focus on the shoulders still pressing to the back and up. That length in the arms is what we want to feel. And of course, the hands are grounding as we step to the front. We keep that right heel off the ground as we come up into that high lunge or Ashwasanchalan Asana. You might try and send the arms a little bit further back. You want to feel that in the shoulders. Be engaged, be present, however you're standing here. So don't ever feel like you need to look like me or someone else. We all look different. But be somewhere that you want to be, where you're feeling embodied. And we interlock the hands and come into an arch. Maybe you want to do something slightly different. And on your next exhale, I want you to come forwards again. Taking the torso forwards, dropping down. It doesn't matter how far. You might touch the ground with your head. You might just gently tip forwards a little bit, and that's all fine. And then hands to the ground, step to the front. Drop the head for a moment. Shake and nod the head if you want. And then inhale and rise to standing. Hastottanasana. Exhale and bring the hands to your heart center again. Anjali Mudra. And we bring the feet apart. Arms go up again on an inhale. And on an exhale, we sink down, hips to the front, knees to the back. We're just trying to get ourselves to be as straight in the spine as possible. We come up and go back down. And I want you to sync this with your breath now. Breath comes first, movement adjusts. Inhaling, coming up. Exhaling, going down. If that breath makes sense to you like that, I don't want you to overthink it. Again, intellect isn't everything, so don't you worry your pretty little head. And we keep going until we sink down, heels off the ground, hands at the heart center, and then we may decide to bring the heels down and then slowly from here into a boat. Any way you like. That means you could have your legs bent, you could have the toes on the ground, you could have the arms up, you could reach them to the front. You decide where you want to be and what makes sense to you. Balancing on the tailbone and then slowly rolling down. Arms next to the head so that you're not using them. Shoulders relaxed as the legs go to the front. You want to keep that connection of the lower back and the ground. So maybe you're in a high diagonal, in more of a 90-degree angle or 88-degree angle, where we are now going to join, and we're going to grab hold of the buttocks and send the legs behind us. And we could come into Karnapidasana, which I'm showing here, but you could be in Halasana. You could also actually, so legs straight or half straight or something like that, feet on or off the ground. So this is all based on where exactly you are most comfortable. Where can your breath still be the breath that you find free flowing through your body, that is in no way constricted and no way uncomfortable. And your body, of course, needs to be comfortable as well. So whatever that means here, that is where I want you to be. Breath is steady, flows like water. And this is one of the variations that I like, that you might follow me in. And then we slowly make our way into happy baby. And as you know, that doesn't mean you need that connection of the hands and feet. You might just try to come towards a 90-degree angle of the legs, flexing the feet, and the hands can be wherever they are helpful. Never a right or wrong place. Could even be on the ground. And feel the breath in your body. Feel the openness here of the upper body, that front of the upper body completely open. You can breathe in all the way and feel the expansion all the way into the lower belly, and breathe out from there and feel that collapse. And then slowly release and come up. Bring your right foot close to you, straighten the spine and gently twist, opening up to the right side. Maybe flex that left foot as well. Get your toes up to 12 o'clock. And again, don't overdo anything. Straightness in the spine first, then we twist. And then from here, come back to the front, right arm around, so from the inside, around that right leg, and we tip forwards. Coming forwards with length, but then also allowing ourselves to drop down and let the head get heavy. Nice, comfortable breaths. You might feel the breath in your back here. If you don't have a bind, that's fine. The hands can just be on the ground. As always, you do not need my permission. You wouldn't get it anyway here in a recorded class. You don't need an invitation ever to do something differently. And we just change sides again, starting with a twist, long spine, taking that right arm around the left knee and twisting. With that left hand either on the ground or the fingertips steadying you here. Or maybe the left hand, top of the left hand is resting on your right waist, coming behind you. So anything is fine, anything you want it to be. And then coming into that gentle forward fold. And it's always one of those things people say, yoga is anything you want it to be. No, it isn't. But in terms of the postures and that feeling, like if you are very, very much in tune with your body, it is unlikely that you do something that is not good for the body. So always trust that you know better than what a picture tells you, than where you think you should be based on what you see in the mirror and things as well. So really tune in and slowly release. Soles of the feet together, we drop the knees to the sides and just drop forwards very gently. And the arms could do all sorts of things. You can pull yourself, you can pull the feet further in, you can bring the arms to the front and lengthen them. You could bring the hands underneath that space between the legs or under the legs and then bring them together. So there's lots and lots of ways that you could do this. It should just be comfortable for you. This often called butterfly in English. Baddha Konasana. Actually, the way I learned that butterfly Titliasana is straight spine, sitting up tall like I am now, like we all come now, and then raising the knees and lowering them. Anyway, enough of that. We come into a glute and hip flexor stretch, which is a nice ending for what we've done. And that is Rajakapotasana, or the Raj is the king, so Kapot, king of pigeons. And I would suggest just fold forwards, give our back and our torso a little break. But of course, if you want to, you can steady yourself with the hands on the ground and straighten the spine coming up. So anything that you want. And let the breath come and go. And really feel that heaviness in your right hip. And slowly come up and change sides. That release, that length in the left leg will now hopefully feel very nice. And feel free to create some space underneath your right hip. So you want that left hip now to be the heavy one. And decide where you want your arms to be. Looks like I haven't quite decided for myself yet. And then find that perfect place for you and just let the body settle. Just surrendering all the control. Being in this posture. And feeling the breath come and go. No need to guide it, just be aware of it. Nice and slowly come up, and this time we drop onto the right side to bring our legs, both legs to the front. We flex the feet, we raise the arms, we interlock the hands and push the palms away from us, and as we may have guessed, on an exhale we fold forward into Paschimottanasana. So whole posterior chain here gets, whole back body gets a stretch. And the back body is referred to as the west of the body. So stretch of the west is what Paschimottanasana is. Might be very much aware of the breath in our back here. Expansion in the back as well. And then we slowly make our way up. And we come into a comfortable seated position. You might cross the legs like I am. You might be somewhere else. Eyes are closed. And we listen to the breath. Again, no need to guide it. Unless you feel like you want to. Unless that feels like the right thing to do. Either way, you want to really have a sense of your breath. The feeling of the breath in the whole of the body. And even noticing the breath in your nostrils. Slightly cooler on the inhale, which makes so much sense because our body warms up that air. And we're here to witness that. No need to guide. Body and breath. Breath and consciousness. Your Atman, your Jiva. Often referred to as soul, which is a guidance of what it may mean, but not quite what it is. And slowly start moving into the neck. And then into the shoulders, the arms, maybe you want to arch or round or twist or anything else that feels good. The lateral stretch might be the thing to do. And then slowly let the arms float down. And wrap your hands together. And then place the palms over your face, and when you're ready, whenever that is, open the eyes and bring the hands to your heart center.